There are prices that are eye-watering and bottles that are changing hands for so much money. What are your thoughts on the market?
It's too crazy because those pricings are ridiculous. Wine is not an art. After a certain time, the bottle won't be great anymore. It can be 10 years, 50, 100, or maybe 150 years, but we make our product to be drunk. We have a production every year coming. If you speculate about the price of a bottle and don't open it, where is the pleasure? We make product of passion and of taste. So if those people want to spend money, there's many other ways of doing it to have a speculation. And for me, it's a shame to see some bottles, like for example, Chambertin from Arnoux-Lachaux, which was one of the most famous, at the estate, if you can buy some. The lists are closed, but if you can buy some, it's very affordable. The people who are buying it sell it between 8 and 10 times more than for what they paid it. And that's ridiculous because all the work has been made before, and the consumer who has to pay the price, one is willing to pay this kind of price. And it's just concerning a small proportion of the amateurs of wine. And that's a shame because it's made to be drunk by the most people we can. And we're losing this by those prices nowadays, I think.
And in some ways, fine Burgundy is becoming a commodity just to be traded from hand to hand.
Yeah, the retailers, they practice too big coefficient. When you go to restaurants, especially in Burgundy, you go to some restaurants where you sell directly wines, they're between 3 and 5 times the price the restaurants pay directly. And it's ridiculous because they're going to sell the wine in the year, they don't have any storage, they don't have any cost on it, and they make a lot of money on the consumer. And there as well some, the bulk is created as well by some consumers. People like, for example, who go to Romani County, they have 12 or 24 bottles, they sell half of their allocation, and what they make on it pays them what they keep, or even more sometimes. So it's the retail created it, and the consumers as well. The land is getting a very high price because of this, because the wine is selling for a lot. There are people looking to buy some vines, some vineyards, and now we're in a situation where people, when they're buying a vineyard, before to speak about a quantity of wine, a quality of wine, you already know the price you have to sell the bottle on 30, 40, 50 years because it's too expensive. There is no rentability anymore. We're in a business, like not many, where we cannot invest anymore in our working tool, and that's a big problem.
The price of grapes has also become very expensive.
Yes, we stopped the negotiation in 2008. My father did stop it because he thought the prices, the grapes were too expensive. The guy who was selling you his grapes sold it to you the price you would sell the bottle, but he's not able to sell them at this price. And that's a big problem because when we started to have 1 or 2 appellations like we do at the estate, like we had Romanée Saint-Vivant or Chazot, things like this, the people sell you the grapes the price you sell the bottle at your own property, but it's a négoce wine. It's not about the same quality, you didn't grow the grapes. And it's all getting too crazy, the prices are too expensive and nobody is willing to pay that much for négoce wines. And for us to expand, we cannot buy a land anymore. There is no rentability on it. Maybe some Bourgogne, village, or if you have a good hint on some Premier Cru, but Grand Cru is unaffordable nowadays and most of the Premier Crus are as well. We need investors, so you're not owners of the vineyards anymore. You find somebody to buy it for you and you just rent it. That's a big problem.
Well, that's a bit sad because then the land in Burgundy is slipping out of the hands of the Burgundians.
Yes, and there's two ways of thinking. Some people are thinking, like you said, we're losing our land. You're going to come someday into estates where you're going to meet somebody who's going to have the name which is written at the entry, but who won't be the owner anymore. It will be just a simple employee. And if you don't work for yourself, I think you don't work with the same passion, mostly in the kind of our jobs, where you don't count your hours or the time you spend. And I think it's ridiculous. And there often is very wealthy people, and that's not the investors of 30 years ago who had a little bit of money and buys it for the pleasure. they have trust or companies who are making too much profit. So they need enterprises which are losing a bit, so they pay less wage, and that's the problem with vineyards like us. People who are buying vineyards here, they don't really care if it's reasonable on the market on the price they pay the land. They just want it, the collectors, they can say to their friends or customers, I own some vineyards in Côte de Nuit or in Comte de Beaune, you have some Montrachet or some Échezeaux, they don't care about the price they paid for it. The money comes from elsewhere, they don't live on it.